The point of this intervention of the World Bank here in Cannes is to attempt to create a harmonized guideline that will allow the producers that use the carbon footprint, the carbon calculators in different countries to calculate the footprint of their movies, and then we will make suggestions on how they can reduce that. We will have a document from the whole of the film industry that will be read at COP21 to show that the film industry is at the forefront of attempting to reduce the carbon footprint.
And we have as a special guest Paul Watson, the founder of Filmmakers.
We have an opportunity this year in Paris with the Climate Change Conference to make a difference, but we're only going to be able to see change if people are willing to do things which are not very popular. If we want to see a change, we need to bring back the whale populations. We need to bring back seal populations. There used to be 45 million seals in the North Atlantic and no shortage of fish. 300,000 blue whales were killed in the 20th century. Each blue whale defecates every day 3 tons. 3 tons of iron-rich, nitrogen-rich fecal material, which provides the food for the plankton and provides food for the zooplankton, which produces calcium, which sequesters carbon and sinks it. So it's one very easy solution. Another one, of course, is we have to reduce combustion engines and replace it with alternatives. Well, the other thing too, and this is the most unpopular one, the one that nobody wants to do, and that is we got to stop eating meat and fish. And the fact is that 13% of the greenhouse gas emissions come from the transportation industry, 51% comes from the meat and agricultural industry. So these are problems that people just simply don't want to address, but they're going to have to address these because this planet is not run by us. We're just a bunch of passengers having a great time, entertaining ourselves. We're really good at that. But this planet is run by all of those species which we take for granted and which we are destroying. If you look at this planet as a spaceship, the ocean and the biosphere is the life support system of that spaceship and is run by a crew of earthlings, not us. It's the bees, it's the fish, it's the bacteria, it's the worms. They're far more important than we are because if they go, we go. We don't live on this planet without them. This planet is in deep trouble. It's dying. We have the opportunity to save it, but we just wake up and address the problem.
Hi everybody. It's not about the fact of not the lack of will to understand or realize what is going on around us. There are several emergencies, there are several priorities, and when we talk about environment, people just look at you like that. We are thinking of what we are going to eat this afternoon, what I'm going to be able to provide to my children, how to send them at school and everything. But in the same time, in countryside in general, taking care of the environment and worrying about it is a kind of second nature, because there we are still very close to nature. And we have to understand that we also have to respect the nature, because nature is you, it is me, it is our future, it is our present, and it's been our past.
The idea of EcoPod is very simple, is to be as practical as possible, is to produce elements which help the producers to reduce their carbon print and to help them to organize their production in a different ways, in the most practical way, and to explain them to have a sustainable approach in production is the best way also to have the right economical approach on production, and to explain them that there are solutions which can at the same time reduce the footprint and reduce the cost of productions, which is the very best way to have a movement. And we work with about actually 500 producers which are using our carbon calculator, which helps any production to produce the carbon print of the production and to define exactly what are the different possibilities of reduction which exist. And at the same time we have developed a lot of solutions which can reduce the carbon print of a production. Cinema and television production are not on another world, which is the conception we have in Cannes, of course. We are another world, but in the world we share, and we must together respect. Thank you.
Film4Climate, and it just gives an overview about green film production, but also media production. Also in television, there are things happening that studios are equipped with LED lights and so on. There's even a sustainable OV van, but also cinemas can save a lot of energy and save up to 30%.
We have to figure out a way to not kill out the planet kind of state, but we won't be able to kill it because it will survive without us. It's just about us surviving in a very good way, and the film industry can contribute in a very good manner. The Green Film Initiative was founded in 2009 within the Climate Media Factory, and we want to support both producers and film funds and film commissions to understand and to share and to collaborate to create European and world standards, so that it makes life much easier for producers to create sustainably a film. We've been looking to the young generation of producers, and they very much are willing to adapt and to go green with their productions. One of the most effective things would be to announce that we have one common guideline and rules for carbon calculators at COP21 in Paris.
We wanted to know what were the most polluting aspects of filmmaking. And we saw that almost 50% of the carbon emissions came out of transportation. We started to develop this methodology, and we developed a set of tools. We made checklists per department saying very clearly what could be done just to lower your carbon footprint. We made best practice sheets. We made calculation tools, for example, to see at what point it's more interesting to hire a hybrid car than a regular car, both when you look at the carbon emission as when you look at the financial cost of it. Every feature fiction film or every feature series that gets production support from Flanders Audiovisual Fund has to try to produce in a more sustainable way and has to fill in this carbon calculator. So when you say that you want to save 30%, it's, in my opinion, it's possible to do it without really having to work very hard.
The issue of climate change is not only a matter of making every action that takes place in your territory more sustainable, but also protect the patrimony that you have. Film commissions and film funds have a double necessity. On one hand, we have to make value of the public money investment that is done in the audiovisual. So rule number one is, when we talk to producers, emphasize that yes, it is definitely cheaper to be sustainable in the long term and in long vision shot. But secondly, I think that for the public money, it's crucial to emphasize that there is new jobs involved in the sustainability actions. And this is not a small thing, because we know that it affects tremendously our ability to negotiate budgets and to negotiate capital investment. I think that eco-sustainability leads directly to sustainable relationship in the work-labor conditions.